The following program was produced by CTV Community Television.
Park Commission of East China Township. Welcome, everybody. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I know we're a little out of whatever, but... Call to order. Let's have a roll call real fast.
I say throw that down to me and I can do that for you. For everything you need. All right, so Chairperson Kalb.
Here.
Vice Chair Wills.
Here.
Secretary Ali, no. Commissioner Betty Sharp.
Here.
Commissioner Fred Sharp.
Here.
Commissioner Bill Westerhoff.
Here.
Commissioner Evelyn Tolles. All right.
All right, did everybody get a chance to look at the proposed agenda?
Yes.
Does everybody approve it? Do you have issues with it?
I don't.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it. Has everybody read the minutes from the January meeting?
I have.
This came to me, sorry. And I didn't read the name on the envelope, I just ripped open and said, oh, I don't think this is me. So anyway, like I said, has everybody taken a look at those meetings?
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second
Did you
it.
get them done?
Oh, do you have?
We didn't get them.
Okay.
They were on the
They were
email?
on mine.
Oh, okay. That's okay. You know what? I actually watched it on TV. It was very entertaining.
Was it?
It was very entertaining.
I think it's pretty dry.
So these are online? That's where you pick them up? They
Yeah,
don't-
you're on TV, sir.
No, that isn't what I meant. The written meeting
No,
minutes.
the written minutes are not.
So-
But they're, they emailed them to us. Wendy did.
Yeah.
Must have missed that.
Must have missed it.
It's okay.
Guest speakers,
Yeah.
would you like to introduce yourself and then?
I'm John Deneen. I used to be the president of the men's East China softball league here. I ran the league for 10 years. I was part of the league for about 18 years. We kind of closed up right before COVID because of we weren't on the same page that year, and then COVID hit anyway, so it kind of all happened at the same time. And I'm here to speak. They asked me to come in and kind of look at like what we're looking for if we were to bring softball back here and what you kind of need or what we kind of need, and to like give you a comparison of what other leagues are paying and what they're doing and what's covered or not covered.
So what do you think will bring you back here? What do you need from us?
I think you got a good chance to bring some new leagues here and probably bring some of the old like men's league back. I just think there has to be a little more like help from the park this time, like with like maybe the field maintenance. I don't even know if there's any bait. We left all our stuff in those boxes. I don't know if any of those boxes. If it's mouse eaten, if any of the bags or anything are good, we left all our drags.
We're still wondering.
All the rakes, everything. I mean, we left everything we ever bought for the park there when we left, because we had the intention.
Well, if they're there, we'll
back,
dig them
and
up.
It never happened, so
Sorry.
as far as I know, it's all still open.
Yeah,
So, do you expect, like, the park to arrange all the refs?
Well, this is the part like we could have, like if I know the ASA guys, so like if we needed to get on parts, I could probably, we could probably pull that part. I'm sure we would even put in some of the help on the fields, like especially before a tournament or whatever, we always did anyway. But like the upkeep of the field, like dragging the field on game days, if you have a tractor or if you have the side-by-side or whatever you have over at the park now, it's a lot easier for them to drag a screen around than it is for us to bring in somebody's four-wheeler, do it, or hand rake the whole field the whole time.
And then lining
And
it
then
too?
line them, because that, I was paying, actually at the end, I was paying, high school kids, a lot of the kids of the guys that played in, like $20 per kid per field to line them and rake them and get them prepped, because we just didn't have the time. But, like, if we could have, that part kind of handled, maybe the insurance, make sure that there's insurance for, you know, through the park, that if something happened, you know, that everybody's kind of covered, you know. We always picked up ASA extra insurance, which was for like if someone had a severe broken ankle and, you know, because of something and they had to, you know, have it covered, it was covered, you know. Like,
So the insurance would cover
yeah,
the medical
like
part?
severe injury type of thing. And it was $50 at that time, it's probably more now.
But that's medical insurance.
It was like a coverage, it was like a rider for the park, like the park, you know, you're covered for whatever, and then this was like an extra for the players that were there in case something happened, and, you know how today's world is, people get hurt, whatever.
So if you know, if I slid into third and broke my ankle, it
Yeah.
would cover that?
Well, part of it, depending, like your own insurance, but I mean, if it was like a severe thing, they would pick up, like, you know, so.
You're talking catastrophic.
Yeah, pretty much. We also had it for like, you know, unfortunately in the modern world, a lot of things go on, people get angry. You know, there was confrontation sometimes, you know, you had a bunch of overgrown men arguing with each other, and it would get a little rough, and then, you know, we'd have to step in and break it up. In case there was a fight or something, you know, you just want to have things covered, so we always had an extra policy for that kind of stuff. It kind of was like a balloon policy, but it was like $50 a team extra that we paid to the ASA.
Is that still available?
I believe it's still available, it's probably more now.
But through the ASA, you could just contract with them?
Yeah, like that's what we did our humps through most of the time, and we would do the insurance through. That covered those two things. Now, like the field stuff, we always did, like I said, we did the dragging, the lining, we bought the chalk, we bought the bags, whatever was needed, we did that part. The bad thing was, like, it put a lot of pressure on the guys to try and have to, like, get people here or pay high school kids, so a lot of extra money out of the, you know, the budget for things that we couldn't use then. And at that time, the only thing they were doing at the park, which they kind of had to do anyway, was cut the grass and take the trash. So that's really all they offered us. And then they wanted to raise that again, and that's kind of what caused the rift. Like the guys were like, why are we gonna pay another $100 a team and get nothing? You know, we're not getting anything now, like why are we gonna pay them more money to do what they're already doing? And then at that time,
Did they give you a good reason why they raised
not
it?
at the time, I came with a couple guys, we had a meeting here actually, like at the end of that season with them, and no one really said much about why it was going up. The other thing they were doing at the end was the pavilion by the ball diamonds. On our tournament day, we would have like, each team would bring like food to share, and we, the league, like me and because there was me, there was a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a few things. So, like, we would bring like grills in, we would cook hot dogs, we would buy all the food for the whole day for everybody, and everybody just shared, and it was a family event. So we never even used the pavilion, we kind of did that between the fields, and we would put up easy ups and just kind of all hang there in games with the one. They started charging us because they said we took up too much parking in that spot, we had to pay for the pavilion for the day on that Saturday. So that was an extra $100 too, that they started taking, so at the end. So it just kind of got to be like, most leagues you can go, like if you read on my thing, a lot of them you can go, some of you, they pay for everything, you just pay your price, you show up, everything's done, everything's covered, you just play, you know, like a regular rec league. Some of them you have to buy your own balls, you know, some of them you had to pay the umps. Most of them have gone to where you just get the balls. You have to get the balls they want, like, you know, like a 52 core, 300 is the compression on it, so they're safer, you know, because the bats you use nowadays are so loaded up that you need a ball that's a little softer, less impact. So they're expensive, you know, you're probably looking on average about $130 for a dozen of balls. Yeah, it's crazy, it's like $10 a ball, so.
So what exactly are you looking for the park to
Well,
provide?
like, the park could do the fields, like, I mean, I could talk to all the guys again, but most of them were like, hey, if at least if the fields were taken care of and lined and raked, you know, and prepped, and the grass was cut, you know, and stuff like that, then that's less that we have to worry about. You know, our guys don't mind having to, you know, come in and like, you know, if we have to put the bases out, no big deal, you know, if they don't get to that, you know. But we don't know like I said, the big thing is, I don't know what's good over there or isn't good anymore, what condition anything is in, if they even have everything anymore.
Yeah.
We'd have to find out, but I do know, and this you should keep in mind, that they only have 2 part-time employees along with the park manager. So you're looking to get a lot of work out of these people that are only there, and I don't even know if part of them are coming back this
I
year.
used to cut grass for you guys there.
Are you again?
So I did. I dug the field, I did everything while I was there. And we went, I did that while I was in between with my automotive, so.
Well, the point I'm making is this is what we have, and I'm not even certain this year we'll be getting one of those part-time employees back because it was quite old. So, which I'm not commenting about, other than the fact it may or may not
Well,
affect his ability.
That kind of stuff is like where we have to kind of meet in the middle, right? Because
That's what I
if
was
they're
gonna
gonna pay
say.
a certain price.
We're
they're gonna
very
expect
interested in trying to make this
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
One, it would bring money back to the park, 2, it would also get people back in the park, right?
Right.
And it would get people back into the community and.
Adults,
and kinda,
like we
why have
were
a
talking
park
about.
if
Yeah.
we're never gonna use it? Why put
A lot of people ask.
to the fields and the places.
How many nights a week are we talking,
Well,
John, do you
at
think?
that time, we were on 5 nights.
5 nights a
It was
week?
Monday through Friday
Oh,
at that
okay.
time. And then occasionally, we would have like a charity tournament on Saturday, or we would, say, we'll pay a $100 rental fee for the day. We want to use the ball diamonds and do, just like we did, like, one kid had cancer in the league, so we did a cancer tournament for him. We did what we called, it was like a goofy day, like you ran the bases, like you went to third, first, and then we had different things we would throw in, home run contest, So there would be some of that, but you could probably at least, I would say, if you could get the fields up and running, you could probably get at least 3 leagues in, I would say, by the middle of this year, to run probably most of your summertime of year or fall. Because our league typically started at the end of May, and we would play about 14 regular season games and then a tournament day, which usually was around the middle of August, we were kind of finishing up. That was our tournament.
So have you been playing the last few years since you left
Last few
here?
years, I've been out there subbing out at the Jaeger, actually.
Okay.
So that's where most of the guys that were here went.
They went where? I'm
The
sorry.
Jaeger Fields outside of St. Clair.
Okay.
So
Can I ask
that
you-
is a, sure, go.
What were you guys paid out there?
Right here.
Right now, it went up this year. This year, that's for your normal fee is $675 to play there, and then it's $125 for a sponsor.
That's per person.
That's for the whole league.
Oh,
This is what I'm saying, like, it's.
Well, it wasn't per team, that was for...
That's per team, but that's like your whole team, like each team, say you had
Right,
10
okay.
teams, it would be $6,700.
Yeah, okay, okay.
sounds good.
Yeah, it's not crazy, softball is still the cheapest sport overall to pay for. Some of the leagues have their own umpires that are, certified through USSSA or ASA, and they'll come in and they just have them back at their facility, and the 2 guys out back there.
But it included the refs.
But it included everything, like you just show up, like out there, the only thing we ended up buying the last couple of years was balls, because balls have gotten so expensive that they're like, okay, we'll do the fields. And a lot of these fields have lights, that's another thing that unfortunately we didn't have here, so we always try to plan our games to be over by about 8:45 because we ran out of daylight.
So have you looked before the snow, have you looked at these fields?
I looked at them at the end of last year, they were pretty rough. As
Yeah.
far as like, they needed to be really like what they call Harley rig, where you deep flip it. The bad thing is I don't know how much top dirt you have left or diamond dust on there that you don't get into the other tile. The other thing was it was so overgrown with weeds, it would need a ton of weed kill to get them at least dried out enough where you can keep dragging it and raking it and dragging it and raking it until you get all the grass out of it. That's going to be the tough part for anybody that's in it. I'm sure the foul poles will have to be, we'd have to probably restrap them. I'm sure that, nobody's done that, they probably broke loose by now. I'm sure some of the signs probably are wore out, I'm sure there's some things that are going to have to be somewhat addressed as you go. But,
We probably should all meet together there and walk through all that.
I mean, the big thing for, I think, the guys is if we could meet maybe halfway, like, say we were paying 400 to the, to the township or something, and the other 300 we're putting into the balls and maybe the umpires and insurance, and that leaves us a little money for like the tournament day where we can still do, like a family day where we can still cook and do some things, I'm sure a lot of them would be up for that, because then they're like, hey, I don't have to get out of work early, I don't have to rush to the field, or, we don't have to pay extra people to come and view the field. That's like you said, though, the problem is if you don't have the staff to be here to drag the field, or line the field, and then we're kind of back to square one, and what do we do? How do you get people in the park?
How difficult was it to get kids to come out and do that?
High school kids, a lot of them because their dads played in the league and they were going to end up playing, because we had a thing, you had to be 17 or done with your senior year of high school sports to be able to play in our men's league. Because you can't interfere with, that for
right.
And so a lot of them were like, oh, well, I'll do it for the $20 because I want to be in this league eventually. And that's what a lot of it was, their grandpa played, and now their dad plays, now they want to play, and it just kind of was, like I said, a lot of it was community people from St. Clair, Marine City, all that.
Yeah.
How often do you have to drag the field?
At least on game day, typically. Like, if you have a game day that you need to drag it. But like when I was over there working, I would just drag them. Like I would, depending on what I was doing at that, I would take, it doesn't take long. I mean, you're probably talking 15 minutes between the two fields. So I would just drag them in the morning and go ahead and do my weed whipping and do the trash, whatever, cut the lawn, whatever was needed at the point. But I mean, that's up to the park people how they handle that. I don't, as long as they're dragged on the game day, I mean, that's really all you have to do is just loosen up the soil so when you slide, it isn't like sliding on concrete.
Yeah.
And I know like the last year before we left, I think it was the year before, we just had fresh diamond dust brought in. And that was like the pinky kind of dust that you see on a lot of the diamonds, and it kind of mixed in with the dirt, and it makes it a better, one, it drains better, and two, it's a better thing to play on. Now, I don't know how the edge of the field is where the grass hits now, if you got, a hump there, from not being good. I don't know, we'd have to look at all that. I don't know how rough they really are.
We probably will have to schedule another meeting where we all meet up or something.
Yeah, I live.
Or take a look at it and send us, what you think.
That, to me, would be the best way to get people back, like maybe meet halfway on some of it, get them back and let them see, because they all enjoy playing here. And the one good thing about, I was very good about, it's right down the middle. I didn't take favoritism. You got a certain amount of games, you get so many home games, so many away, and I didn't care. These are the rules. We had our own rules and bylaws, and we stuck to them. We even put a laminated copy on the back of the ball diamond and hung it on the fence for the umps even. So if there's any argument, it's ended right here. We also changed a lot of our rules to be safer. So like a lot of the plays at the plate, we put in the extra plate, or we would draw a line. So we'd have a commit line at third. So if you took off to go home, you have to go home. There's no collisions, there's no going back into the back. We did everything to kind of make it safer, family and safer, for everybody. So.
I have a super question.
Sure.
How long does it take to drag?
And you can probably do both diamonds. Once you get the initial fields in shape on game day, like I said, I could drag them both probably in 15, 20 minutes tops, depending on how slow or fast you're going.
Okay.
And all you do is you can do it either way. You start on the outside and work your way in, or you start on the inside and work your way out, and you just drag it. It's basically like a chain link fence that we had some like bolts in the end so that we kind of dig a little deeper, keep the ground a little softer, especially in the summer when it's rained, it turns to concrete when it dries. Like I said, but I don't know what shape the dirt's in, how much, that's the big thing, is how much work would have to go in to get the fields prepped for at least the first.
So what do you think could happen this year? I mean, in terms of
realistically, if the fields be in shape, I know for sure that if nothing else, I don't know how many, like I said, the men's league I think will be tough for this year to get. But I bet you we get a mush ball league, which is a very fun thing, and it's a safer thing. And you can play that, well up in age. It's kind of like you ever seen a mush ball? It's kind of like a Nerf ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can take a line shot in the head and pick it up and throw somebody out. It doesn't really hurt. You get guys and girls. It's a co-ed league.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's music playing. It's not a serious, like, kill everybody kind of win league. It's a fun league where you come and you play, and usually you play double headers. You could probably get that league, I would say Friday nights would probably be a good night.
Okay, so a night.
People don't have to work Saturday.
Yeah.
They're not spending their whole weekend, you know, it's a good night for that. I think co-ed would be a big thing around here. There's a lot of, you know, married couples that played for the schools,
Right.
play against me in tournaments, and they say, there's no co-ed around here, we have to go all the way to Fort Huron.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of local people that would probably play in the co-ed league, which you could probably do like a Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday night. And like I used to set the schedule up for the whole year and for every night, and you know, you can do it with 2 fields. You start one game at 6, you have an hour and 10-minute time limit. It's over, you know, you're done by 7:15, the next team's on, and you're done by 8:30 typically. So you're not running out of lights, so you don't have to worry about daylight so much. A lot can be done. I think you could get at least 2 leagues in here. You could probably get, for the co-ed, you probably only get 4 or 6 teams maybe to start. And then I think for the mush ball, you could probably get at least 6 teams. That's pretty popular because that's a sport that a lot of parents can play. They can bring their kids. Nobody gets hurt. You know, it's more relaxed.
So you like the location here? Is that, are
Well,
most
that
of
was
the
the
people
big
from
thing for
Marine
years.
City or
I mean,
East
it's-
China, or where are they from?
Well, a lot of them are from St. Clair.
Oh,
Like
okay.
St. Clair, and a lot of us are from Marine City and in the outlying here. And there's a few from Algonac, a few from Memphis, drive from Memphis. Because there used to be a mush ball league in Memphis, so a lot of them were playing in our men's league. And then we would go out there and play in their mush ball league. And now their mush ball league is away because the person that ran it kind of gave up and said, I'm done, and now nothing's there. They're having the same problem that you're having with East China. They can't get anybody to even come out and play. They have one tournament a year now for Memphis days in August, and that's the only time anybody comes out.
Yeah.
So, it's tough times for sports outdoors, trust me. Like,
Well, I think, you know, with this winter, has it contributed to people feeling overly enthusiastic unless you were a cross-country skier?
yeah.
So John, have you seen, I've been told that it's been past its time. You know, like, it's a game that's kind of, just like soccer, you know, you still see just as many young
If
men.
you go to Beach Road in Port Huron on 16th Street, you go to Jaeger Fields, every night there's a game at Jaeger Field. I think Monday and Wednesdays are competitive night for men. Tuesday and Thursday is the Fleeing Over League. So that's on Limited Arc. Fridays is another competitive league, but that's like 20 game league, but it's only on Fridays. And it's like double headers. And Saturdays, they usually run a tournament, Sundays is co-ed. Now, the co-ed went away at Jaeger this year because a lot of them went up to Beach Road for Port Huron. So I don't know what they'll run on Sundays at Jaeger. But typically, every day of the week, you have people at your location.
Do you have lighting there?
They have lights there. They have one field with like 3 fields there, but one that's mixed. So what they do is they schedule what they can on the early stuff on the other 2 fields, and then anything that they gotta double up or, you know, and they play late over there because they have lights. So their last game starts at like 9:30 or 9:45. So they're done around 11-ish, 11:15. But when I was playing at Liberty, we would start games at 11:45 at night on a Sunday.
Really?
They play, yeah.
Yeah, the only problem we would have with that is that the park manager is the one who locks.
Well, we used to lock the gate. So we locked the gate a lot, especially on that side. They would lock up the park and say, hey, we're leaving for the night, can you grab the gate? We would just lock up when we left. We were good about, trust me, I did everything I could, you know, to keep the guys under control, to keep, you know, anything, you know, no fighting, you know.
The ruckus down.
Language. You know, if you're having a beer, you don't bring a bottle here, you know what I mean, don't, you know, I mean, just trying to keep everything at a community level, because families came, a lot of people came just to watch from the neighborhoods. It was a big thing. It really was. It was a shame that it happened and then COVID happened. Really, it kind of happened bang bang, and I think it really. If it wouldn't have happened that way, I think we'd probably still be in 20. To be honest, there was no reason really.
Well, I
to
think
leave other
COVID
than
drove
try to
people
come
to-
an agreement.
You know, a lot of indoor activity type things where they're playing on their machines all the time, so.
Well, that's happened with a lot of the younger guys. But the people that, typically the guys that have played sports and the girls that have played sports are looking for that outdoor activity. And when a lot of the kids get into it, then they get a little older, their kids have been playing, and then now mom and dad want to get back into playing. And this is what you're seeing is a lot of like late 20s, early 30s families, you know, coming out and playing in these leagues. Like, I'm a dinosaur really now, except I'm 40 over. I mean, I play with guys that are, you know, 18 to 25, a lot of them, with, you know, their families and their wife and kid there. And You know, I mean, it's still pretty popular. I don't think it's dying, I think it's changed a little. The people that are sports people and outdoor people are still gonna do sports in the outdoor.
How many teams are there in the Marine City League?
When we were in it, we had 10 most years.
Okay.
For the men's league.
Yeah.
I think the women had 4 and the church league had 7. So, I don't know what the church has now over there, I'm not sure. But I do know that the men's league on Monday, Wednesday, which a lot of our guys went to over here, has about 15 teams. So it's, Edgar Fields is quite busy. I think that's probably the new hub for everybody, where this kind of was for a long time.
I think it's great for a community. If you can, I think we kind of owe it to our people who pay the taxes here to check into this further. It's good to keep people healthy, keeps you
It gives you something to
moving.
do.
Yeah.
And it's not far
it's
for a
good
lot of our homes, right? If you live in St. Clair, or you live in the city, it's literally
Right in the
3 or 4
middle.
minute drive. You're here, you can hang out, and then even when it gets dark, you lock up, you leave. You're not that far from going home. You know, when we're playing like in Port Huron or even in the Edgar Fields, it's on the outside of town. It's out off of Wadham's Road. It's out a little ways. So even when you live in St. Clair, it's a bit of a drive for you. You know, so it was nice. It was convenient, and the fact that I liked the fact that it was a lot of family stuff, right? Like people brought their families, especially on tournament day. That was a big day, and we'd buy 300-400 hot dogs. We'd buy hamburgers, and everybody was just. Even though you're competitive and you may not always get along with a guy on a certain team, that day everybody was just like, hey, this is, you know what I mean? I don't know, it was a cool thing.
Yeah.
Who can come up with the most creative hot dog or hamburger?
Well, it's just, we would just do a lot of things. And even on that day, a lot of times we would raffle t-shirts and things and, try to make a little money for the league so that like anything that came up that we had to buy, like, new bags or a new, like, I know we replaced the one plate just before, but I'm sure they're bad now.
Yeah, when I looked at them, they were kind of bad shape. Yeah, the mounds too.
Like a year before we left. So, I mean, we tried to put the money back in. Like I said, we'd buy signs for the, for the ball diamond, new distance signs. We actually built the yellow foul poles because we had no foul poles. And then we strapped them all in and sunk them down. And, I mean, we weren't against, still not against doing things to make our facility better. That's the whole goal, is to have a place that is nice, that you can come to and that you can play.
And we're all interested in trying to make this work out, so.
So John, I have another question. I know about insurance for the township. I got the answer back today, and for our insurance, you just have to sign a waiver.
See that?
So I know that's like off. We don't have to worry about that part of it. But another question is, so since we don't know what the ballpark looks like as a ball player,
Absolutely.
you mean I look at it and go, yeah, it looks great. But so.
I'd be willing, here's the thing, I get home at an early enough hour where if they needed a hand for a while, I'm not against in Bill. Like, I'm a community guy. I'll come out and
You
help
can say
them.
that to me too. I know you are.
I know, it's correct, I'll do what I can to get things up and running if I think we can really make a go of it.
Yeah.
I'm not against doing that. I have no problem showing people, helping people, whatever. I'm just concerned on how rough, A, the fields are, and B, what's left over there. I can't tell you if they have a base. I can't tell you if the poles are still, because we used to pull a lot of the poles at the end of the season. I don't know if they've ever ended up pulling them, if they just sunk.
So that was my question. I wanted to know is, of course, we can't come to a decision, but let's say we came to an agreement.
Yeah.
But it's all due to how much time that takes to get it in working order. So if you and someone from the board went over, took a look at it.
To like the people that want to play like a mush ball, I went out and said, I'll start advertising on Facebook, calling the people I know from soft, calling the people that have played mush ball, right? I could probably have an idea and say, this is going to be a go. I could probably give you a pretty good idea within a month. Like, okay, I should have X amount of teams, and if we start on this day, we can run a league.
That's great, but I think she's actually asking you,
Yes.
what do we gotta do to get the park?
No, well, kinda, yeah. So I get how long it would take you to get one, so it'd take you 1 month.
About a
So,
month, yeah.
so would it be possible maybe for you and, like Bill or someone to take a viewing and say, yeah, this needs to be done, this doesn't, or, oh, that's fine, or,
Well,
know,
I'd
like,
love to meet you all out there. We can kind of take a notepad and say, okay, we can probably make this work, but
Yeah.
this is.
you know, because we don't
this is
want to,
bad, or, you know.
right, or, and, you know, we don't have the funds, our money is tied up into something else this year to go into big expense to repair, you get what I mean?
I mean, if we drag the fields, depending on how rough they really are, or how bad they are, if we can Harley rake them and get them flipped enough, and then start dragging them enough and break that clay stuff down where there's not a ton of rock on the top and it's not too rough, you could probably get away with not having to put too much into the actual diamond as far as like dirt and maintenance and things. I think the big thing's gonna be like, how are the bags? If there even is bags
I think we'd
left.
have to purchase all that.
I'm
pretty sure.
Is there any, can we save the plate or are the plates shot? You know, like, is any of the stuff that we left there, is there rakes, is there chalkers, is there, you know?
Sounds like the inventory isn't very well watched, so
So it could have been broken into, and, you know, we used to keep a padlock on it. We had a key, and we gave a key to Deanna, and then we would just go over and, you know, unlock it and grab out the rakes or whatever we needed. We would roll up the drag, lay one behind the diamond, and we always kept one over behind the soccer, like, garage. At that time, soccer garage, you know, but I don't know. Like I said, we'd have to.
I'd have to look, yeah.
I mean, it's a crapshoot, I can't tell you, I haven't.
So do we put together a little team or something? Is that what we want to do, to get a guesstimate of what we have to do?
Well, we want, I think, you know, if you want to put together one or two people to help you put together what you feel you need from going over there, then we have to have Deanna go with them and open whatever facilities we have storing things.
Yeah, I mean, we can see
And then
what's
show if there's anything else that's not, you know, apparent or whatever. I don't know where everything's stored, but, you know, the idea being getting the people, you and your team together with Deanna and
Oh, yeah,
whoever she wants.
I could get a couple guys to come, you know, I could even get my sons, you know, they played in the league. I mean, getting a few people to come out and take a look at things and say, yeah, that's probably too far gone, or hey, we need to do this.
I can meet up with you there.
Yeah, that kind of thing, I think we can handle pretty easily. And
think-
honestly,
I think
if you
those
need to put new bags in, really all you need is a coffee can with some concrete and just concrete the post in. And we just dug a hole and stuck the actual can in the ground and then buried it and then put, I mean, the bags, we had the double bags at first and the rest were single bags. So the single bags aren't that crazy, at least they weren't.
Yeah.
At that time, I want to say it was about $75 a piece. So,
We'll see.
yeah, so now,
Are you volunteering, Don, to take on?
I will meet with him and take notes for what he thinks we need to bring it up to speed if we can, and I'll share notes
But
with
like I
you.
said, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll volunteer too, Jack,
I'm
if you
sure
want.
the guys.
Yeah, please.
On a Saturday and say, hey, we
please.
gotta fix the foul pole.
I think Bill will do it too, so if we can get us all on the field and all four of us on the field at the same time, that'd be great. If the girls
So
want to.
then that way, and that way they can give us a report, the rest of the
Sure.
commission, a report real quick so that we know what kind of money we're looking at, so we can tell you, yep, spread the word, or no,
Yeah,
go,
I mean,
you know, like.
I mean, you're gonna, you know, like, you know, if you meet us in the middle, you know, like I said, if we ended up paying like, you know, 400 to the city and whatever, you know, I can't guarantee how many teams we'll have the first year, but then like, you know, if we start getting the word out that, hey, we're playing again, we host a few tournaments here, people can see the facility, you know, see that it's coming along, whatever. Word of mouth is a big part of it too.
Yeah.
It might be better to start smaller the first year anyway, just to
Yeah.
make sure
Everything runs
everything
smoothly.
works
Yeah.
well and we got everything taken care
Yeah,
of the way
like
it
I
should be.
said, and I think there's some opportunity to get people back in the park, you know,
Yeah.
and then that also can create more revenue for you with our leagues, and then you can, you know, we can come full circle
I think
maybe.
it's just use, right? You just don't want that just sit out there and do
Well,
nothing.
that's it, like,
You
you
know?
know, you got two diamonds over here that the hardball kids used to practice on, I don't think they do that anymore, and then you had the two softball diamonds, you know, occasionally we would use the ones up here when we had a tournament. or
Yeah.
something, you know, but-
Yep.
I mean, I'm not against, you know, like I said, helping or trying to
Right.
get things moving in the right direction. I just know they're gonna ask for something in the middle, because if they're paying the money, well, what are we getting, you know? and-
Well,
Oh, yeah,
we'll
We have to
make
do
a
all the
plan
work.
to all meet up on a certain day at a certain time, and then
Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
Yeah, probably the sooner the better, right?
Yeah, I would think
The
so.
mail ball contingent.
Well, like,
Well,
I know we're
yeah.
supposed to get some snow this weekend. so-
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
Monday.
Oh.
yeah, they did too.
So,
So it would have to be like tomorrow.
Or, or like as soon as it melts enough where we can
Okay.
get it.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to tell in snowshoes what the condition of the field is.
Well, at least if it melts off right now, it's not super mushy yet. If
Yeah.
we get another month,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
swamping in the
Yeah,
winter.
yeah.
Well, could we possibly shoot for next week sometime if it doesn't snow too much and it does melt?
We can play it by ear.
Yeah, if you get a day where it's warm.
No, we can't play it by ear.
Otherwise, it'll be another 3 years.
We're gonna screw it down right now.
Right now, well, next Thursday, they're saying like 40 and kind of cloudy, no rain or nothing. So we could do maybe next Thursday, at least it'd be warm enough if we came out here, like, I don't know what time.
Put on your
home-
shorts.
When you get off work.
I'm usually home by around 3:30, 3:45 from my day job, so
What about you guys?
I'm good anytime.
I can meet you guys. I just come right into the park view.
I got to check the basketball schedule. I think we play that night. So I coach. So I think we have a game Thursday. I'm not sure about it yet,
Well,
but
or we can move it, whatever.
I really want him there.
Yeah.
I think it's best for all of us.
okay, well.
You have
what can we-
John's phone number, yes?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Can we plan on Thursday, and if I have a conflict, I'll let you know?
So Thursday, 3:30-ish? Okay.
3:30? Okay.
I'll be up here, I'll just come up here.
Okay, how about 4 o'clock? Is that all right?
Yep, good.
4 o'clock Thursday? Okay.
And we'll go from there, see how bad they are.
Okay.
And then we can look too, like.
You mean how good they are?
Yes.
Maybe you need the girls to come with you then.
There's the optimist.
I'm optimistic, but to your point.
I agree,
Sitting
I
in the weather
understand.
for that long,
Yeah.
things are probably.
Somebody will get a hold of Deanna too.
And then
She ought to be
we can see what's the.
Yeah. Probably got
Yeah.
keys or whatever, too.
Okay, yeah.
I doubt it, and probably been pillaged, but,
We'll do the math.
yeah.
Do you want to send an email to Deanna about potentially the schedule to meet?
Why don't you wait until, why don't you make Bill responsible, because Bill's the one who's gonna hold up if you guys are going or not, right? So make Bill send Deanna the,
There you go.
sorry, Bill, but do you see how that works?
Yeah, she just
I
delegated
mean, well, if
responsibility.
you think about it, so you do that, and then Bill says, well, not a good day, and you switch it, now you keep going back and forth, just wait, and the person that you're waiting on is the one,
But as
Make
of
him
right now, we penciled in 4 PM on Thursday.
and he can go home and look and see if it's a good time, and nobody.
Great, great.
Sorry, Bill, I gave you another job.
Okay, yeah.
And that was a well-delivered presentation, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I ran the league, I mean, I knew what it cost us for everything, I know about how much we started with, we usually had about 7,000 when we started. By the time we paid for the city and the extra insurance, we were down to about $4,500. I could usually do the umps. At that time, we were getting umps for about 28 a game. They're probably more between 32 and 36 now on average. So, I kind of do the.
Try and work the numbers out and get back.
Yeah, I
to
can
us
kind of give
on
you
that,
something.
so, yeah.
I'll call around and see kind of whatever.
Thank you.
Paying now.
Thank you.
Give you something on Thursday anyway.
Okay, so if we took care of the fields, we handled that, you could handle the umpires and the scheduling, that kind of stuff?
And then if we don't really need the extra insurance, that saves a little too, so I could pay the umps a little more, which is really the thing you really need, right? Because you don't want guys from your own league handling the game, because what are they gonna do? They're gonna fight. Right? Well, you played for so-and-so, and you called that an out, and, is that really the rule? And so you eliminate that argument.
Do you have like a high school association? That's where you get the guys from?
No, it's ASA, American Softball.
Oh, it is ASA?
Yeah, it's an associate, softball
Okay.
I
association.
think his name's Terry, I could call Terry and, say, hey, do you have some guys available in this area that would be willing to start coming here and work
So
out.
they're a quote-unquote professional league, right?
Yeah,
They get trained and,
training,
yeah,
all
okay.
ASA rules. And what we played was like a split thing. It was ASA with some modifications. Like our height limit was like 6 to 10, so it was a little flatter of a pitch. We outlawed certain bats because certain bats are just deadly, especially when you're playing and the mound's that close.
Right,
Many
right.
guys take shots, to the chest and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we had some modifications. We also had like the extra plate at home, so you didn't have collision. There's certain things in our rules that were not tolerated. There's definitely no fighting, and when there was suspensions, and then, people like, no arguing with the ump, and if you argue with the ump, and they have to come to me, or, whoever's running the league rejected for the day, we decided that right then.
So what is the extra home plate?
So like,
Because
say I'm at third base, right?
Yeah.
And there's a play at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's a force out. Catcher just steps on the plate, holds his glove up like he would at first.
Right.
You run to a separate plate that's exactly right across from it. No collision.
If you beat the,
If you beat the throw, you're safe. If you don't beat the throw, you're out. It's like a force out.
That's a good idea.
Right? We do that. And at third, we would have another line about 8 feet off the bag or so. Once you get to that line, you can't turn around and dive back at the bag.
oh, you
Also
get committed.
plays at third,
Right.
banging into each other. Unfortunately, my son broke his jaw that way from the league because someone landed on his back. So that was another reason we were like, no, we can't have this all the time either. People still have to get up and go to work. They still have to,
Yeah.
so,
You still have to get up.
it was for safety, really. And it makes the game a little easier. It makes the ump's job easier. He doesn't have to worry about,
Right.
did he block the plate? Did he do it on purpose? Did he hit the guy? Everything is pretty cut and dry that way. So.
Okay.
Good.
Well, thank you, John.
Thanks for
Does anybody
coming in,
else have
John,
any
we
questions?
appreciate it, yeah.
Good.
Thanks,
sir.
See you next week, I'll let you know once I look at the schedule. But yeah, let me know what's going on there, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Work on your shirt.
I like it, don't you worry.
I see a little dissension among the ranks here.
Just a FYI, I had checked out when Deanna wants to go to that workshop, and that's March 3rd to 6th. So should be good.
Yeah, that's on the
next
list
week.
down the
Okay.
road.
Okay.
So
So
it doesn't-
there's
so
no
hopefully
public
she'll be
comment
around.
other than what we've just talked about. Approval of bills, did everybody get a chance to take a look at the financials that were
I
sent?
did.
Have you a query?
No queries, everything is good.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Anybody else, any queries about it?
No, not here.
So do we have a full approval of bills by all members?
Betty?
Yes.
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 I'm good.
All approved. We have this little thing called communications, but I don't know if unless somebody's got something else they want to interject.
I did want to, if I could, last month Deanna had talked about a marketplace coming in June,
Right.
June 13th, where all the vendors are going to be there. And
Right.
I've seen what Olette does. I was wondering if maybe our Parks Commission should maybe possibly put up a little easy up and maybe have some brochures made by then so that they can see what we're going to accomplish this year with the playscape, maybe ways to get them to donate money, even if, do you remember when we were talking about selling bricks? People like to put their name on things, and we could have that, or we could have, it's for us to decide what we might like, but I thought, wow, what perfect timing. We got hundreds and hundreds of people that are gonna be going through there.
That's a
Why
good idea,
not?
but who are we gonna get to do it?
Deanna can do whatever, but
Yeah?
we have, well,
Okay.
that's what the park manager does. But we have to say what we would want. And with new people, at one time we looked at bricks, literal bricks. And you could have like your name, say-
Pavers, yeah.
Yeah, pavers. And you could have, some wanted to do it for like pets. You could put your pet's name and date, and there'd be a little pet section, or in memory of Dad, or something like that. A lot of people thought that was good, and it sold well. Some people talked about rocks. Some people talked about, what the heck was that wall supposed to be? Do you remember? That was, no. Well, there's different ideas. Some people, you can sell, just little placards, that
Yes.
say that you sponsored
And we
the
can put
playscape.
The benches,
And we
which,
could do one big little, section where everybody who donated the section, the sponsor wall. And these are, sponsored prices. And then that way we're soliciting without having to really solicit, with,
like that.
they're coming right on through and.
I think it's a great
I think
idea.
it'd be good.
well,
So,
we can ask the township also to put up, on their website, under parks, where we would be thinking about allowing people to buy bricks and/or any other
Yes,
thing.
but that's my
Yes.
point. We do that afterwards, and that's all. But I was thinking if do you know what I'm talking about,
Yes, I
Betty?
think it's
Like
great.
what those, it's
When
like a
I've gone to
fair.
like St. Clair art things, they'll
Yes.
have like what is it, the group that does all the flowers and stuff, the master gardeners, they'll have a little booth, or they'll
Yes.
have the women's club has a little booth, just little information.
Kind of like an arts and crafts that's going
Yeah.
to be at the park. So I thought, man, we've got lots of people coming through there. Why wouldn't we take advantage of some of that? So,
I think
You'd have to
that's
say
good.
what you want to put in the brochures
I
as to
know,
what
but-
we are not only are thinking of doing, but what we have done, which of course, we have improved that park over and over.
yeah, I just wanted, that's something that I threw out there, and I thought, well, June, we should have it all ready by May, so that only leaves us March and April to get it. So maybe if we think about it this month and we come back with an answer of what we want to have on our table, I'm sure we could get a booth.
Oh, we can put a table.
I know
without
the
any
park
problem.
manager, we should be able to. But, I mean,
No,
that's
that'd be
just,
great,
it was a
yeah.
thought
I really
process,
do.
like,
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking of is, she talked about getting brochures to hand out. They should take them like up to Neiman's, just, because I've been up there before. They just shove a brochure in your bag when you
Oh,
go
you've
out
got
to
also
get.
a whole area right outside where you walk out, where the carts are.
Yeah.
Where they have, everybody leaves all kinds of paperwork.
Not just have it up on the little sign here, but we need to promote
Right,
that
But
whole
VG's has
event a
got the
lot
same
more.
thing too, so, both
with that being
places.
said,
Tractor Supply.
printing is very
Yes.
expensive, very expensive, so, that's why I thought maybe very expensive color printing, and you're gonna wanna show our coming soon playscape in color, you'd think. That's why I thought, well, maybe starting it there where the person would only take it if interested versus you shove it in my bag, you know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, no, I just mean a brochure
Yes.
promoting the whole
Oh.
marketplace that they're doing. And say, these are some of the vendors, the marketplace is coming on this date. You want to get people from St. Clair that maybe don't drive down this way and see the.
Are you talking the vendor show there? We
No,
don't-
I'm talking about what you're going to do, the marketplace thing that she's going to do in June.
Yeah, we don't have to do anything, we're not the ones, okay.
Right. But I'd like to see them have some brochures at
Yes,
Neiman's.
I would like to
Get out
list
of the
of what's
area a
going
little
to
bit
be
more
here.
too. Market it a little
That's
bit
what
more.
people
That
will
young
come
lady, they're already all over on
doing it.
Facebook. Yeah,
Is
we
she?
don't have to do
Oh,
anything.
good,
They're
good.
just renting from us and we're charging them money.
Right.
But while they're the ones bringing in 3,000 people, I thought, why wouldn't we take advantage of that situation?
Yes, definitely.
Agree.
But
Definitely do
that is their licensing, and I wouldn't want to step on their toes.
Okay,
See what
okay.
I'm saying? That's not a us
I just
thing.
wanna
That's
get
That
the
makes
word
sense.
out.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
know that.
They're doing
actually,
all the-
they're renting our whole park for the whole day. We approved it, and so, but then you know how you think afterwards, like, those people coming, why aren't we doing something?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
so,
Yeah.
anyways, that's what I
That'd be
mean,
great.
you know, and if you can think of any great things, I'm just using examples of what we talked about in the parks in the past, that people can pay for to donate, you know, and we get the proceeds to improve our park. So, and those are just some things, but if you can come up with anything, you know, like, if we can bring it to the table next month and say, oh, great idea, let's do this, or whatever.
Something to
Just-
think
It was a
about.
thought, it was a
Yeah,
thought.
It's a good thought.
Being a public company or a organization, can we have like 50/50s and that kind of stuff, or
Ooh,
that's?
I don't know.
I don't think so. That's a question to ask Alan over there. Can we do raffles?
When I was in the Boy Scouts, I think they got rid of that, but that was a nonprofit, but I don't think you're allowed to.
So
I don't know.
Okay.
You have to get a state license, because I
Just a
do,
question.
yeah, I
I
do
don't think you
licensing,
can.
and I don't, you know, we're talking to town, I don't know. I'd have to talk to the township on that. Yeah. Good question, don't know.
Yeah, it's a great question.
We're still looking for $500,000, right?
Hey, we're close. Do you see how close we are? We probably should be able to do the playscape this year. You know, where
It
is that,
depends on
3
what
something?
size you want to make the place.
Right, we could
Right.
just
I mean,
start
if
it at
you
a
look up-
decent
we were gonna
size.
Different
Okay.
playscapes online.
Because the next big thing is the pickles.
I can get playscapes as low as 40, 50,000.
Right.
And I can get them, of course, 2, 3, 400,000 off from Amazon. And I'm sure DPW can be relied upon to donate their services to put them together. But the question is, what do we want in playscape? Do you want to keep the same thing it is, which is one big mammoth type thing that kids can play on? And some kids may not want to play with other kids. At least
Stay
one or two
home.
parents have said, my kid can't play in here because I have to be with my child. Apparently, that's something that, is one of those issues when it comes to, parents that they have to deal with. So we have to be able to say, can we address all of that?
Evelyn, how much
Wouldn't
do we
that
have
be better
available
done
for that place, Kate?
with 2 or 3 pieces?
I'm looking at break,
We could have swings separate. or
Total
something.
available is $393,000.
Did we hear back on that?
$700, but we still have to pay things out of that, but.
Well, you're gonna have to pay all the
Yeah,
annual
what are our
expenses.
annuals? What are our annuals?
Did we hear back?
Look, they show it right here also.
I don't.
They show.
What do you mean you don't? Everybody got one.
Ellen, have we heard back on the grant application? Did we hear
Okay,
back on that? Did we hear back on that grant application that we had?
we have not heard back yet.
Okay. Okay.
And that's some of it, I don't, he hasn't forwarded any information to me, so I'm assuming he hasn't. Because if it was bad news, I would expect he would have told me by now too.
Okay, I just
But
wondered.
once you have it, you better be ready to submit all your papers and submit all your picture, like, that's a Deanna
Yep.
thing. That's why she should start working on it now, as if she thinks we
And
got
decide
it.
what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we, boom, boom, boom.
Like I've already looked up about 20 million of them, but do you want plastic? Do you want wood? Do you want 2 or 3 smaller ones? Do you want one large one? Da-da-da-da-da. So to me, having the variety of sizes and shapes and play items would address a larger group of people. So, and then don't forget about those seniors that are sitting out there. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to play on the swing, but there's a lot of other seniors who start anywhere from the 50s up who have to deal with many issues. And they don't just want to roll around the park or walk around the park. And many of them can't even walk around the park because of the physical issues that they have to deal with. Until we get the benches in that would give them places to stop
Those go in
in
this
very short
spring.
periods.
Those go in this spring, so that's
I know they are.
done.
I know, I'm just saying what is right now.
I cannot place where Deanna sent that paper.
Not only that, but I stopped there the other day and I was gonna roll through the park only to find that the sidewalk was only partially cleared, which I'm like, well, what the hell, I can roll through that. But for a lot of other people, they wouldn't deal with it,
Are you talking about the manager report?
Yes, I can't find it right now on my email.
I can give you a copy.
I have a
Can
question
you,
for
I
the
would
township
appreciate it for right
representative.
now, because we have to vote on something, if I remember correctly. Don't we have to vote on something?
Approve this
Yeah, down the
contract,
road.
I guess,
Hang on
Kevin
for a minute.
Blanc here.
Oh, I
a
have
question
that, but
for,
she asked for money too.
For conference.
Thank you.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Alan, I have a
Yeah,
question for you.
that's what
Going
I-
to, we're looking at revenue and expenditure report for the period ending January 31st for the general fund, okay? So this should be for the entirety of the township, am I not correct?
What's that?
This should be for the entire, is this the entire township? The
Pam, what are you
399,000, the 399,000, and so on? The 393
She's
which
asking
actually
if that's
show
our
negative
budget or the
balances?
township's budget.
You're talking, no, that's for the new fund for the park. and rec-
Playscape.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is what we have accumulated?
I believe so.
I mean, that's what it looks like,
If
right?
it's under available balance that you're talking
Yep,
about.
that's what it says.
Now with that includes all your salaries, all your wages, all your everything. If you take off, if you just go down to, yeah, that's what we have.
But you're looking at the cash summary by account. And this is
Cash
just
summary by
January.
account.
So this
So
isn't a capital equipment budget, it's in everything.
This should be everything. So you've got,
Where's the playscape? River Park is 200,000. I have 2 sets if you want to look at that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's dated a couple days before. but-
this is just January for the one I printed off.
Yeah, it's February. Okay.
Did you see this?
Yes.
I have a question. Under the invoice GL distribution report, conferences and workshops, it says $560 that was on the 30th of January. What was that for?
Where are we looking?
Is that the one Deanna's going to?
No,
No.
that's coming up. Are you on page 1?
Yeah. I'm on it. Mine is all screwed around back there.
Mine is a little messy too, like, oh yeah, yours is way different. No, I got something different.
Yeah, I don't have that either.
Yeah.
This is what was emailed. That's, I don't know, maybe I.
It's got period ending 131, right?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
good.
that's the
yeah,
one
yep.
it is.
Kids gave us 70,000 allocated to it.
That's what they have allocated, but yeah, but we have the money saved from last year too. Are you talking the education fund? I didn't see what you just was pointing at. I'm so sorry.
No,
Getting
you're fine.
Back
You're
and
fine.
forth
You're fine.
tonight. But yours does not look like mine at all. Yeah, mine is not worded that way.
Is yours under, were you
Oh.
questioning the travel?
Here it is, conferences and
The
workshops.
conferences.
I don't have, that's different.
That's the
Yeah,
one
that's
I
a totally
saw.
different than what I have.
It's on,
Well, this is in a different spot than.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Here, I'll give it back. But, yeah, I wonder what that's spent for. I don't have any idea. 560?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'll get to the bottom of that.
That could be, yeah, unless that's a deposit, you know, to hold your spot, but you can't do that until you get,
Right.
well, I don't know, maybe I'm out of turn. I don't know. I'll wait until I hear what people say. Okay.
All right, we have to do
So
one or
that's
two
money spent.
things.
Yeah, you've got something different than me. You're not gonna have this, you got the same thing I have, which is not the same.
That's all.
Sorry, guys, we don't have the same thing, but.
Now, park manager to report, what she sent is what we've got.
Right, so did you see where she's asking for us to vote?
Yes,
To
that's
go
under,
on
I
it.
put it under new business,
Okay,
because we have to put that into whatever.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, as far as that, we need to add to the minutes, because the supervisor asked the PC to change the total contract amount that was shown for Kevin's contract. So that needs to show at $43,360 a year, which is an additional $3,120 a year. He asked for us to specifically state that
in the minutes.
in the minutes.
All right.
Okay. So we've also, you know, we were sent emails on the difference of the cost of Kevin's lawn care, which comes to that. The grant ideas, nobody's come back so far. So, and we need to approve Deanna's trip to the conference, where she was asking for $1,564.82. I would rather fund it for $1,700, because she doesn't know if she can get that in at that cost. And-
All right, now,
Well,
oh, I'm,
I would suggest waiting to talk about this till the township report, because I have something about that from last night. There's a little bit of, there's an issue, but I'll get to it when.
Well, what would that be? Because this is the M-Parks conference.
yeah,
So, this is my recollection, and last night we got into
A free-for-all?
well, I don't know what you want to call it, but just, I guess, a misunderstanding, I think, because our board voted to expend that money. And,
Your
what?
board voted to spend it, the BOT sport.
Correct.
So we don't have to put it under ours.
well, this is my suggestion, because if you actually watch the meeting, what Vern said at the very end, he said, I'll just say what happened, because we debated whether or not our board should be spending park commission money, and that was already allocated toward the park commission, which in my view, I mean, because I've heard people complain from this board for a long time that, like, our board votes to spend your money and, like,
Right.
allocates the money and then we go to
And
spend it.
technically,
that's-
under state law, you can't.
Well,
Okay,
correct.
but they
my
have
point is, they did vote to do that, and then after the fact, it was said that if you guys don't want to expend that money, then they'll reallocate money so that you guys aren't spending it. So that would be my suggestion, just in case if you guys need extra money at the end of the year or whatever, then ask for it back. Because since the park staff are township
Employees now, right.
really, the park commission shouldn't be paying for that
That
stuff.
sounds like the only
what I
way.
thought,
That sounds
too.
perfect.
But in my opinion, so I mean, if you guys want to do that, that's what I would suggest.
And for the new board members, when the old, what manager is she? I always get the managers.
Township manager.
Township manager. If you notice on here, there is like an education fund. And when we asked about that, do you remember her saying that wasn't for Deanna, that was for us? And because I thought, well, why would we need to go to any kind of conference?
actually,
But
we
then-
should, but-
Well, and then I thought, well, if we're doing something, it costs money for a convention, that's what that money was for. It's not for Deanna, the park manager.
Now that she's a township employee,
Yeah.
that's the way it should
But
be.
that's the way,
what I
that's
thought.
what the old park manager said when she was all ready. She said that money that's in this park's education is for us, if we get it. Because it's sitting there, it's not like we're adding more to it every year. So technically, I mean, if you look at it, you think, oh, yeah, we got that money to pay for Deanna to go, but we really kind of shouldn't be paying.
No, we shouldn't be paying
For
anything
it.
for
No,
Deanna.
if
No, I
somebody
mean, I want her
else
to
is
go.
paying, the
Not that
township's
she
paying the
shouldn't go.
payroll.
It's
No, we
not
want
that
her to
she
go.
shouldn't
No,
go.
that's
It's that
on the
it should
BOT to
be-
do it,
It's
though.
where the money's coming from, that's.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Already
coming
approved
The
from
BOT approved it last
the
week.
board then?
Correct.
Okay.
So what they said was if you guys.
Do we have to vote against
Yes,
it?
yes. we have to vote.
Well,
Oh.
I would say vote to have that allocated from township funds, not park funds. That's what I would say your vote should be.
But you've
But I
already
mean,
approved
it's up to you.
No, they didn't actually, they have to, I get it what they're saying.
They voted to expend park money,
Ah,
but you guys, if you guys say that you don't want that, if you want, what I would word it as, it's not the park money, it's not the park budget that you want taken out of, period. That's-
so if we say
We
that I'm
motion,
asking the PC to vote to have the cost of this conference and Deanna's attendance at it in all forms, in all needs, to come from the Board of Trustees because
Correct.
she is a township employee.
Correct,
yeah.
Correct.
100%.
So everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, that sounds like it's
Well, that
been
was
carried.
great.
Who made the motion?
Pam made the motion and I'll second it.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Yeah, when I was reading that, that's when it made me go, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'll keep you newbies informed. Well, now can you talk, the liaison? Or is there anything
Okay.
else you have to say?
There's two other things that I have.
Are you done, Pam?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. We changed internet services from Centerras to St. Clair County Resa. It was kind of a long time coming because they did a lot of our line work and stuff like that, so it's not really big news. But then a reminder that hunting is not permitted on township property, specifically the parks or the cemetery. The DPW removed 2 blinds on the cemetery. After it
Well,
was
it's not like anybody's gonna tell.
when it came to our attention that someone shot inside someone's home.
Yeah, the dishwasher incident, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it went inside a home?
They thought their dishwasher exploded, it was a shotgun
Yeah.
that blew up their dishwasher.
So,
Well, isn't there a state law that says you can't shoot within 400 feet of residence?
You don't know who it is.
450 feet, and not only that, but it was a high-powered rifle, so
Oh.
you're not allowed to hunt with those down here, so.
Those can shoot for about a mile, can't they?
Oh,
Probably
at
more than
least.
that, Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
so, but yeah,
So entered
She
the home
was
when he
next
got the
door, she wasn't
dishwasher,
in
is
the
that
house.
it? That was it? Oh, my gosh.
they were next door, like
Yeah,
playing
playing
cards,
cards.
and they heard the shot, and then she
And
went
the whole
home
damn
later
story.
on and saw, went right through the wall.
Oh, my gosh.
But they're still looking for the guy.
Yeah, well.
How dumb
yeah.
is that?
You got the ballistics.
No, they couldn't find a bullet.
Yeah.
What?
That's what I read.
So do we have anything more from the township liaison?
That's pretty much it. Everything else has been.
No, huh?
Yeah. That's already
on our
that's-
property,
That's already an ordinance, so in the park
I know.
or the cemetery. So. Any questions or anything, or?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we pretty much covered most of everything else in a different lineup, but anybody else got any other announcements or member comments?
I do not.
Can I just make sure we got the date right? So Thursday, the 26th of February,
Yeah, that's
4
correct.
PM at the field.
Yeah, not this Thursday, but the next one.
Got it.
I'll,
24
I'll let you guys know as soon as I get,
Yeah.
I'll let you know tomorrow if I
Okay.
can. All right.
Great.
Okay, so Thursday, May 26th. May, February 26th.
You want to close this meeting?
I'm going to in a minute. All right, if we have nothing else, then I adjourn this meeting at 8:08 PM.
The preceding program was produced by CTV Community Television. CTV Community Television is supported by the cities of Marine City and St. Clair, East China Township, Cotterville Township, and the East China School District.